It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And coming up, we'll see TJ Hawkinson. He's coming off a nice week. 117 yards in that one. It's the Vikings and the Ravens. All that and more coming up next.
U.S. Bank Stadium holds just under 70,000 spectators, and they've come out in full force for this one. A fantastic atmosphere here in Minneapolis. Today we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They're led out by a former number 2 overall pick in the draft from BYU, it's Zach Wilson.
There's a lot of good to watch in the game last week, wasn't there? I mean, he did throw 2 touchdown passes. That was impressive. And he's so close, isn't he? The 3 interceptions killed him and his team. That was costly. But if he just cleans that up a little bit, there's a reason for optimism with this team and this passer.
Here we go,
quickly to the air is Wilson. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 7 catches, 82 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
And this will be a Vikings first down as the tackle made just shy of the 40. Now, look, that wasn't a huge game, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
39 yards there, a big one. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. In motion right is Addison. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Oh, now an injured player down there, and this is not what you want to see. That's Justin Jefferson, who's having some issues. 2nd down and 8. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
We'll talk about a rhythm breaker right there. They'd been moving the ball well. Drive had started beautifully. That one's going to hurt.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12. They'll make that a 2nd sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down. Partner doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh, what, now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's probably saying, if you can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? But a long one, and he can't connect. Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. Now Jackson on 1st down. Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. So, Charles, you look at this offense, so what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 and 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there. And now 4th down. Now is the punter, Jordan Stout. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And they were in field goal range the last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Hey, look at this Baltimore defense. Well, they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And that will be incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. And the first drive, 3 and out. 2nd possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. The numbers for him from a week ago. 7 carries, 76 yards, and a touchdown.
And only 7 carries in last week's game, but I just don't know how any runner can really get loose and feel like they're into the game with that few carries. You've got to get that number up to around 15.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. And remember, the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. 3rd down and 6. Here's Jackson to throw, eluding the pressure right. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
He may go, and he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 25 yards that time.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Another run here with Dobbins. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. Got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. DJ Chark, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are on the board first here this afternoon. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson, he shakes him off, and he's going to go down again. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Now 3rd down and very long. Now it's Wilson. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2, as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Jackson, forced out to his left. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. They'll run with Mitchell. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
3rd and goal. Jackson escaping the pressure right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Ravens go up by 2 touchdowns. Tucker with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for second down. They go play action with Wilson. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. Oh, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Nothing doing on second and third down after that 9-yard gain on first.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Here's Daniel Whelan now. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. This is taken at the 18. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. He'll start with a handoff to Dobbins. Pushes past him, and he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
2 minutes gone by, second quarter. On second down, here's Mitchell. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. A 3-yard pickup on second and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on third and a little more than a yard. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On third and 1, Jackson steps away to his left. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first. Well, we've seen Jackson all. In the first half running the football, and he gets good yardage on the ground again there. I mean, how, I know it's a $64,000 question, CD, but how do they contain him better?
You have to win against the blockers ahead of you. If those guys even occupy a defender for even a half a second, then Lamar Jackson is gone. You've got to take those blockers and move them so that you have clear vision of Lamar Jackson, and hopefully you can hem him in.
It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down. now Jackson will look to throw it. Looking deep here for Flowers. And he's got it inside the 10. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Zay Flowers, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Well, you talk about just coming in and completely seizing momentum. They can go up 21-0 here. We haven't even hit halftime.
And the other part of this, you can start to feel the unrest here in the stadium. I think these fans are saying, what hit us? And this isn't about fantasy points. This is about rooting their team on.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Meanwhile, Wilson's throw taken in by Hawkinson here. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It's a gain of 35.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And here's Daniel Whelan on now to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with a 21-0 lead already, no need really to take any unnecessary risks. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Flushed out right. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
No shortage of impressive moments from him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the first half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
Report.
Jackson. And that's going to be caught downfield by Chark. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And they're going to stop play here. And the injury is to, that's DJ Chark, the receiver, who's in need of some help right now. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Oh, a dangerous pass there, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And the Vikings are going to get the football here at their own 23. Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness, it's been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first half scores just like this one.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Now a timeout called for by the defense as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And it would appear he's going to be short of a first down as he stopped right around the 29. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. Message received here. No need to wait. We're going to skip halftime and get right back to the action. Here comes the 3rd quarter. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Second half starts with a run by Dobbins. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Play action. It's Jackson. And Shark calls it in. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. And this will be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Flush to his right. And this is into the hands of Andrews downfield. Touchdown! Mark Andrews, 37 yards. And the Ravens come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
This is your game, baby.
Tucker now to add the point after. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's Mark Andrews who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the shotgun, Wilson. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Fielded at the 33. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return.
And they will take over first and 10. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews with career touchdown number 60. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes this 35-0 now.
Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And now out comes Minnesota.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It's a gain of 34.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Play action. It's Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Trenton Simpson able to record his 5th sack of the season. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on...
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Brandon Smith able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Let's do our thing. Let's do it.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Jackson.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
4th down, here's Jackson.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Ravens 1st down as they pick up a big chunk of yards to boot. 18 of them.
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter.
1st down, here's Mitchell.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 29-yard line.
Jackson from the shotgun. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. Powers past him, and in for the Ravens touchdown. 25 yards for the touchdown.
And the Ravens go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they've built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it is 42-0. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession. But the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and that will bring up second down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. And a bad throw there. It's intercepted.
It's Deonte Banks with it.
And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown.
But not only is his defense pitching a shutout, now they're contributing points themselves. I mean, they have really put together what's almost been a perfect effort here in this one.
I love how you express that. They've absolutely exceeded expectations in this one, and even better than their play, it's been their effort. Even with the win in their back pocket already, every one of those guys is still out there fighting like it's a tie game.
Tucker with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Vikings nothing. Justin Tucker is the kickoff for Baltimore.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
And now out comes Minnesota.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Now Wilson.
And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Throwing again here, Wilson. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Patrick Queen coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
The Vikings send out their punter as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Taken in at the 22. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would have, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Jackson. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Boy, excellent coverage there. Last week he had the interception. One reason why he was the AFC Defensive Player of the Week.
So no jokes about not having hands, right? Because he got the pick last week. This week, he's knocked down a ball in this game so far. Let's see if he can get an interception as this one continues.
A tough day for this offense continues. One of their best chances to get on the scoreboard there, couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's not looking like it's going to happen for him today, does it? I mean, opportunity after opportunity, play after play has gone against them the entire game. They probably feel a little bit like Schlepp, got that black cloud over their heads.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. I'm just wondering, do they want to add on to this gigantic lead? My guess, given how they like to play and how explosive this offense is, Charles, that they're not content being up by this margin. They probably want more.
And if they do go and get more, oh, look out. At that point, let's just aim the camera for the post-game handshake, because that one might be a little bit on the tense side, the way that this one is turning out.
They go play action with Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Mekhi Blackman's got it. And the Vikings are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
A throw over the middle, taken in. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. Now it's Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. This 2nd and 4. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. On 2nd down, here's Wilson.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. That is caught, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a 1st down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Osborne. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's
going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 20-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down.
Hawkinson crossing the middle and bringing it in. And the Vikings are going to have a first and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before they close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
Throwing is Wilson. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Now the extra point. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's polished off by a Viking score. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive as they try to finish things off in this fourth quarter, and that current 5-game win streak looking like it's going to go to 6. They're looking deep here for Flowers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 41. So the deep ball giveth, and now the deep ball taketh away.
Man, you're getting deep on me here. I like that. Going to the next level in what you're thinking. And when you think about all the success he's had throwing the football so far.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Baltimore, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.